Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another tribute video, and this time it is to guitarist, songwriter and producer Steve Cropper. And this video is dedicated to all Steve's family and friends and fans from around the world. Whenever I do these tribute videos, I try and just talk about how a musician or an artist has not so much affected me, but been part of me in the way that the music has kind of found me, or I found the music through my life. So all the kind of stats and stuff like that you can find elsewhere. So this is just a personal view about how Steve's guitar playing and music has influenced me or been part of my life. I grew up with rock music. I'm a child from the 70s. So I wasn't aware of Steve Cropper, although I was, when I started to realise who he was. I think for many people of my generation, if you were kind of raised on loud guitars, it would be the film The Blues Brothers. That would be probably where you saw his name first, and it was with me. Because in the Blues Brothers, the kind of on-film band, which is a real band, Steve Cropper was the guitarist. One of my favourite films of all time. And it was from there, because obviously the Blues Brothers are all about soul and R&B and the power of that kind of passionate music, with Franklin's in that film, all sorts of people. Again, the film kind of opened up lots of different rabbit holes for me to go down. And then I started to realise that when I started to go back and see what Steve had done, I knew a lot of this stuff. Green Onions, Booker T and the MGs. An absolutely fantastic album. I think I was drawn to this primarily straight for the Hammond organ to start with. But Steve's kind of really sharp and accurate and shiny Telecaster sound, you know what I'm trying to say, that kind of really kind of the way of playing where you're literally deadening the strings but still making the guitar say something. But when you play those really electric, I'm trying to describe the way that Steve Cropper's guitar tone, perhaps the closest would be Roy Buchanan, that kind of really sharp but great rock R&B type guitar sound that Steve Cropper made his own. If you want to listen to Booker T and the MGs, obviously that is an essential album, but this little original album series box set, which you can still find, pulls together 5 of their finest albums. But Steve played with Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, Sam and Dave, as I said, Booker T, the Blues Brothers, of course, as I said, the film. But the other thing I wanted to mention was other bands that I went down this rabbit hole and started to listen to. And one of them would be Tower of Power, and this particular album called Back to Oakland, which Steve plays on. A great album, and I love this kind of horn-led funk. I love the band War, and as I've got older, my kind of love of soul and Stax, which I'm going to mention in a minute, which of course, you know, Steve was an in-house producer and songwriter for Stax Records. But this is a wonderful album by Tower of Power, and again, these little sets that are still in print, I think, are quite easy to find on eBay. The original album series is another way of picking up 5 fantastic records. Another thing that I want to mention is the kind of songs. You see, we're not just talking about a guitarist here. We're talking about someone who wrote some of the most classic soul standards of all time. And one of them would be Sitting on the Dock of the Day. And again, because of my heritage, where did I first hear that particular song? It would be Sammy Hagar. It's stuck on this album. It wasn't part of this album originally, which is Street Machine. It was released as a single separately, which Steve Cropper actually worked with Sammy Hagar on that. I think probably where Sammy was thinking, which way am I going? But you can find it on this Rock Candy release. But the real core of Steve Cropper's guitar playing is things like In the Midnight Hour, which was written with Wilson Pickett even, and that's on, if I've got this right, because I've just reviewed this, haven't I? I have. This is Stax Review 1966, which I've done a separate video for. It's 2 CDs. It's like the same kind of quality as B.B. King's Live at the Regal. It's really like you're in the room in this point of time. But there's a version in the midnight hour here with Steve Cropper. It's 9 minutes long, and it's just absolutely brilliant. So if you want to listen to Steve Cropper, some really great soulful, biting R&B guitar playing, that. And also Knock on Wood, which is another great track by Eddie Floyd. And the places I'd like to send you for looking at those are Classic Stax, which is a great 3 CD set. There's no real information with that. Or the 50th anniversary celebration of Stax Records. This is a 2 CD set, and it does come with a lovely booklet with lots of information on, lots of pictures of the bands from the time. But Stax Records are incredible, like Tamla Motown, the Philadelphia, whatever. But Stax has got this really R&B. You'll love the music. Their Hammond organ and Steve Cropper's biting guitars have said. And the other one I'd just like to end on, which is a box set that I've featured here on the Now Spinning Magazine channel and website, is called Written in Their Soul, the Stax songwriting demos. This is an absolutely incredible set. And Steve obviously is on this as well. So that hopefully is just a few pointers for where you might like to go if you'd like to listen to some of Steve Cropper's timeless guitar playing. Because whenever I do a tribute like this, I don't just presume. I'm talking to people that know this stuff, and there'll be people watching this who grew up in this period and know far more than me. But I just wanted to talk about the music that I've loved that Steve Cropper has played on, but also think of people watching this who are a lot younger than me, who have seen this travelling around YouTube or on the news and think, Steve Cropper, I should know this, and I don't want to appear silly by not knowing what to do. So I just hope that I've pointed out some things that will kind of help you kind of go off and really have, hopefully, an enjoyable experience in listening to this wonderful guitarist whose music will live on, his talents, his songwriting, his production techniques. This is someone who's been part of, there's so many people that he's influenced, from Jeff Beck, Rod Stewart, Bonnie Raitt, Buddy Guy. There are so many people where Steve Cropper's guitar playing pops up. So thank you for watching, and thank you, Steve Cropper, for all of the music they've left us that we can enjoy. It will live on always. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Keep spinning those discs. Take care, all of you, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.